today I've brought you guys a monstrosity. Listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve. Hopefully the audio syncs up because I lost my SD card for this thing. So we're using the recording software on my laptop to catch all this. Worst case scenario, I think I could extract the audio separately. We'll figure it out then. All right, so what we got here today is a couple. We're going to do this as a two-parter. For the first part, we're actually going to make this light up. So this hopefully should be a fairly quick video. And then the next video will be painting it. So before my AC kicks back on. So trying to get this done in sections. But what I have that I'm using for the LEDs is this Rekiss. Whatever it is. I'll have a link in the description for where I ordered it off Amazon. But what they are these little LEDs. It's just like a little button LED. And I think this one I already had set up. Also, if you hear anything in the background, that would be the baby. But what's cool about this is it's controlled by a remote. So you can turn it on. Oh, it's this one. And it's already red. And then you can also change the colors. So you can change the blue, you can change it to green, change it to pink if you wanted it to. It's got different effects. And what this is going to allow us to do is, once we pop this off, I'm told there's... I'm not sure exactly how this is going to be. Some good buddy in my Discord already did this once, so I'm kind of going off what he did. And again, if you hear things in the background, baby's playing with things. Yeah, you calm down back there. Okay, so like I mentioned, what this is going to allow us to do is, one, there's not really any way of having this like officially off. So I'm hoping this is at least like clipped in or something, or we'll be able to do something with it, because I don't want to have to pop this off and then have to glue it back in and repop it off. So we'll figure it out as we're going. Worst case scenario, I might just leave the base off because it's not like you're going to see it. But we need to get this thing off first. And then hopefully this light will hang out behind the tum-tum. So what I'm going to do is grab the hairdryer, and I'm going to heat this entire thing up. And I'm going to do it for a minute. And then I'm just going to take the screwdriver and try to pry it open. We'll see what happens. So we got this heated up. It is super warm. Probably going to end up dinging this a little bit trying to do this, but I can get the screwdriver into here. And I already, ooh. Well, I was going to say, I feel it applying pressure. There we go. That side's kind of partially loose. Also, I can sand this down too later if I really need to. I'm gonna try to get into some of the sections that are a little looser. There we go. Feel that popping apart. I'm just going to keep doing that in areas and hopefully get this thing kind of loose. Ah, there we go. So it does pop off. Granted, I got a little nub mark here, but we can get that to work. So does that mean I can pop this back in? Oh, you can. All right. So what I might do is I might just cut out a little section. Maybe even right here, since I made that giant scuff mark. I might just cut this out so I got a place to pop it open. But anyways, inside looks like so. What we're trying to do, I think it's that one. Yeah. Is we're going to take this and trying to think where this would be a good place, because what we'll probably end up doing is just gluing it in. Alright, so next time that we got this underneath, all we really need to do, you guys want to see here, but sit this down, and hopefully you guys can kind of see that it does turn on. And, well, at least I can see currently. You can sort of see the lights going on. But you don't really need a bunch of things, like do anything super fancy. It doesn't really need to go anywhere specifically in there. It just needs to rest like so. I can turn off the light here. And you can see it illuminating. So what I'm going to do is take my Dremel. We're going to sand this part down a bit. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to clean this part up a little bit and just make a little gap to make it easier to pop off for next time. So I got my Dremel. If you didn't have one of these, you could probably cut that all with the X-Acto blade or just get some coarse sandpaper. I have like a belt sander, belt sanding stuff. But you can even just take this and sand it down. You'll eventually get it. But because we got a tool for the job, I got an old piece of sand here. So take this, turn this on, and also crank it up. Simple as that. Just nub it down. Then we'll take the one that we know is working. Shut it off real quick. Take some super glue that I keep forgetting to put the cap back on it. So, as I don't know where the cap goes, so it just keeps drying randomly. So I gotta re-pierce it whenever I want to use it. I recommend keeping the cap on. And then I'm just gonna take some super glue. Go around the perimeter here. And then you don't have to, but if you have some, it does make things quite convenient. Is some glue accelerator, some Instaset. What I usually do is I'll take some of it, I'll spritz this. So then when this comes into contact with it, it's going to dry very, very quickly. So then you just set that on here like so. Give it about 10 seconds. Already attached. So now, like I mentioned, we're going to sand this part off just a little bit. Just rip this stuff off. Doesn't have to be super clean, but if you have one, X-Acto blade, use it to clean up the edges. Like I mentioned, needs some way of getting this off. So now we take this. So now when I put it back in, oh, I'm just realizing that's going to be, this part right here is going to be an issue. We have to set this farther back. Will dookie. All right. So on a high note, this should come off pretty easy still. A little bit of effort. There we go. And we will just glue it in towards the back here. Same verse, same as the first. Like I said, it's one nice thing about this stuff. It's pretty forgiving. See, like it's already pretty well set. Reattach. Good to go. Now, if I ever want to pop it back off, I got a little opening here. Gives me something to work with if I need to change a battery. And now, turning off the light, I turn it on. And now it glows. Now I can change it to that. Change it to yellow. Like I mentioned, I want it to be purple. That's an option. Make it blue. You get quite a bit of variety. And again, kind of something odd, because something like this could have been so simple for them to do. All they had to do was just put a little switch here, have the little LED sitting right there, and this would have instantly made it way more worth it for me. So that's pretty much it for this video. I'm gonna crank this bad boy off. Gonna take some pictures for Instagram. And then the next video you guys will see will be us working on making this thing look a little bit more accurate. And messing around just pretty much with the paint job, just because this isn't going to be hanging out with the Super 7, it's going to be hanging out with Monster Arts. So it's got to look a little bit more of the parts. If you guys would like to pick this guy up for yourself, link in the description for Entertainment Earth. Help support the channel and get yourself some sweet collectibles. And help us defeat those guys just by hitting the like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. We also got Instagram, Patreon, pictures, Facebook, guys that give up the day with channel and donate. Greatly would appreciate it. Also got a threads too.